Doesn't Jimmy Carter look like a model of stability right now? Well, at the time when he was president, he was a left-wing radical supporting child killing, against prayer in public school, even though he was a Southern Baptist. And so the moral majority was born. Remember the moral majority? Some of you are old enough to remember. Some of you are too young to even know what I'm talking about. It was thunder on the right. It was this incredible movement of people who were sick of the left wing of the country running over us, and we were going to take the country back. Child killing had barely been here, since 73, so it was still fresh, and people thought we can defeat it, we can get rid of child killing, abortion as it's euphemistically known. We can get prayer back in schools. We can get rid of this evolution nonsense. There was this sense of we can do this, and Jerry Falwell was traveling all over the country, and other ministers were as well. Other groups emerged. Preachers were preaching from the pulpit the ethics and the laws of God. They had guts. They had backbone. D. James Kennedy, Cardinal O'Connor. You had these pillars. Pat Robertson back then was out there fighting. James Dobson. Reagan was elected. There was a huge victory for the religious right. And then a lot didn't happen. Child killing stayed with us. Prayer in school was never brought back. Then we had George H.W. Bush, George Herbert Walker Bush. And he was no Ronald Reagan. And the religious right started to collapse, and then came Bill Clinton. Boom, up comes who? The Christian Coalition. Remember the Christian Coalition? They were the new thunder on the right, but they didn't have the guts and the commitment to principle that the moral majority had. But they were still out there, they were still fighting, fought throughout the Clinton years, and then George W. Bush was elected, and that really was the beginning of the end of the religious right as a fierce political force, because they thought, hey, we've got the White House, we've got the House of Representatives, we've got the Senate, we win. And we didn't win. Things continued to get worse. And one thing happened that was tragic. Those preachers who had been preaching like houses on fire no longer were. Some of them were dying. Some of them were retiring. And they weren't teaching the young men who came after them to put the laws of God first. They were saying, hey, we're Republicans, GOP, God's own party, and it's all going to be okay. And because of it, the religious right as a political, social, cultural force just went into mothballs. God help us. I'll be back.